Hey guys, today we're going to be doing a review on the e.l.f. blush palettes. These came out very recently and I ordered them when I placed a giant e.l.f. order. I got both the dark and the light palettes, so I'm going to be going over both of them and giving you a generalized review of them. This was by far the most requested thing when I was talking about doing reviews from that e.l.f. haul I did really recently. I'll make sure to link that below if you have not already seen it. I got a bunch of new stuff from e.l.f. and I got it for a great deal. These palettes each retail for $6 a piece. However, there is a coupon code floating around for half off of your studio purchase of $20 or more, and then it's just like free shipping over $35. So I got these both for $3 a piece. First off, like total pro, and I'm sorry for blinding you guys, but the mirror is huge. So they're fantastic for travel. You've got the 4 blushes. This one is the light palette, so we're going to start with it and then move into the dark palette. I'll be doing swatches of both of these in a moment here. So in the light palette, you have some great options, and I love that most of these are matte. You only have one shimmery blush in the entire palette. Matte blushes are so complimentary, and I think that they're a lot easier to work with than shimmers sometimes, especially if you have bad skin texture. The first shade that we have is a very light pale pink. It's kind of a Barbie pink. Then we have a matte tan, almost bronzer color. I think this would be really nice for lighter, warmer skin tones. It might be a little bit orangey if you are cooler. And then we have this really beautiful rose and then a beautiful coral with shimmer throughout. So the first shade is actually what I have on my cheeks today, and it is this pale pink. So the pink is a really beautiful shade, quite pigmented actually, and my one thing with these is they aren't the easiest thing to blend. I don't really think I was expecting that at $3 for a palette of 4 blushes. However, it is something to keep in mind that they are not like, you don't just dip your finger in and they're like butter and you can just, you know, blend them super easily. The next shade actually is the bronzer, and it does have a bit more pigmentation and it is a bit smoother. I think that this could almost double as a blush if you really wanted it to and you went with a light hand so you didn't look like you had like poop on your cheeks. I know that sounds gross. I've seen some weird pictures of girls and I've wondered what they were doing with their face. Then we have the rose shade right down here, and we'll just swatch that. This is 2 swatches over of the rose color. I do think that this one is a bit more sheer, so it's the third one right there. I really like this color a lot. It is very smooth to the touch and a bit easier to blend than the first initial pink. And I think it's really, really, really beautiful. Then the last color that we have is the shimmer. And this is by far the standout of this palette. It has beautiful pigmentation. The shimmer actually isn't so noticeable once you blend it, and it is so soft to the touch. This is by far the worst performing blush in the palette, and it's still not so awful that I wasn't able to wear it. It is just something that is going to require a bit more work. So that is the swatch session of the light palette. I really love this, and this is what I used on myself when I went away this past month. I really, really think that these blushes are fantastic. The packaging is phenomenal. I'll get into more generalized comments on the palettes and like as a whole in a moment here, but now I'm going to move on to the dark palette. So the dark palette I clearly don't use as much. I think this is going to be beautiful come fall, and it's actually going in my kit for some darker skin tones as well. I didn't have many blush options for women with darker colors or, you know, more color to their face. I'm sorry, I think I just like shed so much light on my face. So we have a really light kind of dusty mauve shade almost. It has a bit of peach in it as well actually. We have a darker mauve, much more purpley and pink. Then we have this gorgeous red with like gold shimmer, and that is the only shimmery blush in this one. And then we have kind of a deep dark burgundy. So I'm going to use my other hand for swatches. This first shade is gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. It is just a really pretty, like I said, kind of peachy, brownish, mauvish. I don't know, it looks like it would be a great everyday shade for a lot of darker skin tones. Then we have the darker berry, which is really, really, really beautiful. It's actually almost a magenta color. I never quite realized that before. This one's really soft and buttery as well. And then we have this really cool kind of red with the shimmer. I was so intrigued by this blush and I think it's amazing. It's really, really pretty, and again, the shimmer isn't so noticeable once it's on. And then lastly, we have the darkest kind of brick shade. I'm running out of fingers to swatch with. And clearly this one is super pigmented. You would have to go in with a fairly light hand or blend like freaking crazy, which is kind of hard again with these because they don't blend the easiest. That is the ugliest swatch ever. I get ugly swatch of the year. So that is my swatch session. Out of the two, I think that the dark palette has much better pigmentation. However, the color, sorry I opened the wrong one, the colors are a lot harder to wear for all skin tones. I feel like with the light palette, it's pretty universal. It would show up and even with, you know, women with color, but the colors in the dark palette are just much more smooth and creamy and easy to blend. That being said, I do think you could get both, even for personal use. I think that the shades are unique enough and they're actually not repeats of the current Studio blush line that you would need them in your collection. They're not colors that I necessarily had previously. You have to keep in mind that while the price point is amazing and the convenience is fantastic, they cost $6 retail price a piece. So don't expect them to be matte quality because they're certainly not. They are going to require a little bit of effort to blend. I don't find that they need a lot of effort to build. I just think that you are going to have to work with them maybe more than you would something that costs a little bit more money. Overall, I love the packaging on these. As I said, I love the mirror. I love the concept. In fact, I don't want to do this because I just kind of don't. I painted my nails like today and I don't want them to smudge. But you can actually pop the blushes in this palette out. I've seen girls do it on YouTube, and I think that what is going to happen is they're going to either come out with refill pans or they're going to come out with more shades, and that is a fantastic idea in my opinion. I think that if that actually happens, this is the best thing that has ever happened ever to drugstore makeup. Overall, not necessarily keeping the price in mind, I'm going to give these a B-. Because they are a bit dry to the touch for some of them and they are somewhat difficult to blend. If they were my average run-of-the-mill, I spent whatever on this, I would be so about them. That being said, they are great colors. I think that they are totally worth your time, totally worth your money, especially with the 50% off coupon code. So definitely go and check these out. If you put the price point into consideration, these get like an A+ times 50. But I don't typically like to include that in my reviews. So yeah, I hope you all enjoyed this and that you found it helpful. Let me know if you have tried these or any new products that you think I would like in the comments down below, and make sure to subscribe to this channel if you have not already. And until my next video, I love you girls so much and I will talk to you very soon. Bye!